What's going on, you guys? So today we're going to start working on the Supra. I got a couple things ordered up for the car, not too much. Obviously we have the engine, went over that already. We're doing a little bit of strip down on it, nothing too crazy. But today I think we're going to get started by dropping that fuel tank out of it and getting that Whalley 450 liter hour pump installed. So I'm getting ready to jack the back of the car up to drop the tank, and I noticed something. Little droplets there. And the tank is all wet. Now my immediate thought is, shit, the gas tank's rusted out, and I'm gonna need to change the tank out. So I open the hatch up and pop the spare tire well access, and I find all of this. I don't know if you can see down there in the tire well too. Now that's not water, that's oil. My guess is somebody had a jug of oil back here that busted open and soaked everything back there. So I'm gonna have to clean all that out. And I guess that's one way to keep your spare tire well from rusting. So I went ahead and drained all the shit out of here. There was a little bit of water in there too, which I'm assuming is from a coolant jug or something he had in here that probably opened up too, but there's a shit ton of oil and coolant back here. Just to get to the harnesses, makes it a lot easier just to disconnect that stuff right there. Else it's gonna need to get cleaned. I went ahead and put the car on some jack stands too, just to make it easier to get to. And now basically I just gotta undo these fuel lines right here, this line right here, which this one I'll be lucky if it comes off in one piece. That's probably not going to be fun. And then undo the straps, lower it down. I'm going to go ahead and spray that stuff with some PB Blaster, let it sit for a bit. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and take that all apart, get the fuel lines disconnected, because doing that's going to be a nightmare, and it's going to be difficult for me to record that and fight with it at the same time. So I'm gonna get those lines all disconnected and catch back up with you guys in a bit. So currently already running into one problem. I was able to get this line to break loose, but it's turning with the line. Now what that usually means is you're about to break a line. So I'm gonna fuck with it for a little bit. If I can't get it apart, I'll break the line and then deal with that later. Because, yeah, I can fix that. Okay, I was able to get that line off without breaking it. Granted, it was a super sketchy way of doing it. Yeah, so, hold on. What I did was I lightly clamped some vice grips on the line, held this side of the fitting, and turned that one, and I was able to break it loose, and it came out without breaking. I'm definitely gonna need to clean that fitting up, double check and inspect the lines and everything before I put it back together, because I mean it would suck to put it back together and then have it leak again. I know somewhere somebody is screaming at their computer right now or their phone or whatever they're watching this on, being like, why don't you just run AN lines, just reline the entire car, make it clean, do it right, just reline everything. And I mean, trust me, as much as I would love to do that, it does not fall in the theme of the build, which is budget build. Do it as cheap as we can. If it doesn't work, I got a backup plan for how to fix this and how to make it work. It's not gonna be right, but it'll work. And I'm definitely on a budget. I'm drinking Budweiser. So this is my buddy Tyler. He's came over, he's gonna help pull the engine out of the Supra, and you know, we've done quite a few of these before.
Oh, I was gonna say I need a fucking Sawzall and some tin snips.
To get the motor out?
And a flathead for the clips.
Okay, well, just don't cut the coolant lines, don't cut the power steering lines. Don't cut,
anyway.
I want the coolant lines, we need the power steering lines, fuel lines.
Cut power steering lines.
Look,
What kind of fucking jackwad operation do you think this is?
Look, you're the one that's saying like, oh, I can go to McDonald's and get this thing out. Like we're about to pull a motor at Parts Galore with a pry bar, a hammer, and a Sawzall.
It's like the good old days.
Just start disconnecting stuff. I trust you.
I it's terrifying.
If I hear a Sawzall though, I'm gonna be pissed. This is why I don't record half the shit I do. It's very difficult to do one-handed. All right, fuel tank's out of the car. Got these guys up here, thrashing along on the motor. So I'm gonna button this shit up back here real quick, pull this into the garage, and then we can drop the rear, lift the front up, that way we can change the oil, start yanking the engine out. All right, so we are about 45 minutes into the engine. Gas tank's out of the car, so that's, I already showed you guys that. The engine is coming along good, so the radiator, fan shroud, all that stuff's out. Harnesses, everything already disconnected. Power steering's disconnected. What do we got left? Motor mounts, transmount,
motor mounts.
Cut the exhaust.
Yeah, might as well. Nope.
So yeah, basically just undo the transmount now, disconnect the speedo cable, reverse signal sensor, unbolt the motor mounts, and cut the exhaust with a Sawzall. Or if it's easy to remove them or under there, just pull it off. And we should be ready to yank this. I think we're probably gonna have more time spent into actually assembling the engine hoist than it's gonna take to get this thing ready to pull now.
Mason said he's actually just gonna pull it out.
Oh, by hand?
Yeah, just hug that shit.
Sounds good to me.
You're gonna put...
All right, one thing we did forget to remove, we got to get to the ECU, remove the ECU, disconnect that, and then I need to pull the AC cluster out in order to get this cover out, in order to get the center console out. That way I can remove the shifter. Once the shifter's out, he's down below removing the trans bracket right now. We can drop it down, undo the motor mounts, yank it out of here. All right, as you can see, I got the light on, but shifter's out. Took the dash and all that apart. Now I just got to get up under here, disconnect the ECU harness, and pull it through. What you doing down there, Tyler?
Cutting the fucking exhaust mount. Is there another one on that side that I can't see?
Oh, you're cutting the mount?
Yeah. Easier than dealing with these old straps.
Yeah, that's true. So, as you can see, it's already gotten a bit dark out here. It's gotten pretty dark in the last hour. But motor's about ready to come out. Motor mounts, everything's unhooked. Got the strap ready to go. Just getting the last motor mount off over there. Hoist is put together and ready to yank it. So I mean, you know, we're about an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe into it, and the fuel tank and all that's out. Motor's ready to come out and rock and roll. All right, motor's coming out right now. Note to self: never buy a cheap 1-ton jack because they're so fucking tiny. If I gave 2 fucks about this car, I'd be a little upset about the bumper rubbing on that. And the core support that I now need to hammer back in because the pulley's caught on it and the arm's not long enough to actually push in further to get the right angle. But we said fuck it, because this car's already pretty haggard, and you know, budget build. My budget doesn't involve buying another engine hoist right now. So haggard build and some super hack shit. That
you might as well just keep it recording.
Yeah, this is some super hack shit that I would never do on my Mustang.
You know, maybe if somebody would have assembled this right.
Look, I accidentally put the caster bolts in upside down, and they catch on the casters.
Just don't fuck up the headlights. That's all that matters. Don't fuck up the pop-ups.
That's...
Here, you know what? You pull this. I'm gonna worry about the pop-ups.
Alright, fine. Fuck you.
I don't know where you're going. It's already out.
Worry about the pop-ups.
Already did. Lower it.
Yeah. All the regrets.
We can call that a successful day. So So probably we'll just stash it like right there, I guess.
Have fun. Where'd my rag go?
Yep, that's it. That's enough for today. We're gonna pack this shit up, clean up, load up, get that in the garage, and call it a day. So that's gonna be it for this one. First episode of the budget drift car build. So like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and follow the build of the car along. And I still have that thing over there that we're gonna be working on too. And as for now, we'll catch you guys later.